Good evening. This is 6 p.m., February 20, 2025. This is the Planning and Zoning meeting of the City of Boca Raton. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Jamie, would you call the roll, please?
Chair Savelle?
Here.
Mr. Salon?
Here.
Ms. Ritchie?
Here.
Ms. McDermott?
Here.
Mr. Mitchell?
Here.
Mr. Rocha? And Mr. Dornblaser?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay. I don't think we have any amendments since there's only one item on the agenda, but we have the minutes of January 16th, 2025. Look for a motion in a second for approval.
Motion to approve.
So seconded.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? No. Minutes pass unanimously. Next item is a quasi-judicial hearing, and I'll ask the city attorney to explain that procedure.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Chris Fernandez, Assistant City Attorney. The rules of the City Council provide that each applicant requesting approval, relief, or other action from the Planning and Zoning Board this evening shall disclose at the commencement or continuance of the public hearing any consideration or payment provided or committed directly or on its behalf for an agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested relief or action. A copy of the quasi-judicial rules governing tonight's public hearing are attached to the agenda and are available from the city clerk.
Okay, thank you. Would everyone who is going to speak this evening be sworn in, please?
Do you swear or affirm any testimony you give at this public hearing will be truthful and accurate? Thanks.
Okay. First item is the TBT athletics. Items 5A1 and 2 will be conducted contemporaneously but voted on separately. Jamie, would you please read these items into the record?
TBT Athletics, 5801 Congress Ave. Number 1 is a resolution of the City of Boca Raton considering for the approximately 5.98 acre property generally located at 5801 Congress Avenue, an amendment to an approved site plan amending Planning and Zoning Board Resolution number 06-09 to authorize minor site improvements, including updating tabular data for a new athletic training facility use on the property, restriping portions of the service parking area, providing a new 6-foot sidewalk for a section of the property frontage along Northwest Broken Sound Parkway, increasing the existing sidewalk width to 6 feet for a section of the property frontage along Northwest Broken Sound Parkway, and increasing the existing sidewalk width to 6 feet for the property frontage along Congress Avenue, providing interior crosswalks and additional landscaping together with a technical deviation from Section 28-1655 Code of Ordinances to reduce the number of off-street parking spaces from 139 spaces to 127 spaces, providing for repealer and specifically repealing Planning and Zoning Board Resolution number 82-51, providing an effective date. And number 2 is a resolution of the City of Boca Raton considering for the approximately 5.98 acre property generally located at 5801 Congress Avenue, conditional use approval pursuant to Section 28-978 Code of Ordinances to authorize an 11,980 square foot athletic training facility in an existing 47,116 square foot warehouse and office building in the Light Industrial Research Park, LIRP zoning district, providing repealer, providing an effective date.
Thank you. Any ex parte discussions? No? Looks like only me. I visited the site and I had a conversation with Bonnie Miskell and David Millage on this item. With that, I'll turn it over to Owen.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, board members. My name is Owen Devlin. I'm Senior Planner with Development Services here at the City. I am here to present a request for the approval of a conditional use application, an amendment to a previously approved site plan, and one technical deviation from the City's Code of Ordinances for the property located at 5801 Congress Avenue. The approximately 6 acre property is located on the northwest corner of Congress Ave and Northwest Broken Sound Parkway, as can be seen on the map. The property is zoned Light Industrial and Research Park, LIRP, with a future land use designation of planned mobility. The applicant is requesting a conditional use approval pursuant to Section 28978 Code of Ordinance to authorize the construction or to authorize the 11,980 square foot athletic training facility in an existing 4,700 square foot warehouse and office building. A site plan amendment to authorize minor site improvements, including updating the tabular data for the property, and one technical deviation from Section 281655 to reduce the required parking spaces from 139 spaces to 127. The applicant is requesting conditional use approval to authorize an 11,980 square foot athletic training facility in the existing building on the property. On September 12th, 2023, the City Council adopted Ordinance Number 5658, which added athletic training facilities as a conditional use in the Light Industrial and Research Park, also known as LIRP. The applicant is currently operating at the property without a conditional use approval. The City has issued a code enforcement notice of violation, requesting the applicant to obtain formal approval of the facility, which is what we're here for today. The proposed site plan is displayed on the screen. The applicant is seeking site plan approval for minor improvements, which include restriping part of the surface parking area to create additional parking spaces, widening certain sections of the sidewalk from 5 feet to 6 feet, construction of a new 6-foot sidewalk, and adding interior crosswalks along with additional landscaping. Access to the property will remain unchanged, and there will be no modifications to the existing building's height, square footage, or floor area. Since the package was sent out, the applicant has provided additional information regarding the northern setback. The original site plan submitted showed a setback of 34 feet for the existing building. After discussion with the applicant and their team, it was revealed that the setback issue arose from an error in the original base CAD files. Upon verification with the surveyor and comparison to the latest survey, it was determined that the measurement was within the acceptable margin of error, resulting in an adjustment of the setback to 35 feet on the revised site plan, which I passed around copies of, and that is what's on your table. The applicant has requested a technical deviation from Section 281655 to reduce the number of parking spaces on the property from 139 spaces to 127. Based on the application, staff have determined that adequate parking is available for the use. Currently, the property contains 121 parking spaces, with the electric training facility and the other uses already operating at the property. The City has received no complaints regarding the parking at the property. The athletic training facility is currently operating on the property. This approval will bring this existing use into compliance with City Code requirements and resolve an open code enforcement case regarding the use. The project is consistent and compatible with the existing land use on the property and adjacent industrial, warehouse and residential developments. From a national perspective, industrial parks commonly include athletic training facilities. The proposed facility will provide the city residents with a local and specialized recreational amenity in this area of the city. Staff also found no inconsistencies between the project and the comprehensive plan. Staff is recommending approval of the application to City Council. And that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions for staff, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you. Questions for staff? Mr. Mitchell? Ms. McDermott? Mr. Ritchie? Mr. Dornblaser? Mr. Salon? No. I have a question. When I was there was not a parking space to be had. Is there an occupancy limit on a property like this, for use like this?
When you say an occupancy
Like
limit,
how many people they can bring in there at once?
No, we do not have a condition to stop the number of members or guests at the facility.
Okay. Because there's other buildings have maximum occupancy limits. Mr. Shad?
Brandon Chad, let me clarify. What he's saying is that there's no zoning restriction that says you're limited based on parking to how many people you can have in the building. There are, of course, occupancy limits per the building code and the fire code. Those still exist.
That was really my question.
Yes.
So where do those show up? Like,
On the building plans, when they get a permit for
Okay.
the interior renovations.
okay, thank you. Okay, with that, I'll ask the petitioner to come up and open the public hearing.
Good evening, David Millage for the applicant. Thank you, Owen, for your presentation and working with me and Amanda Martinez on this project. I do have a presentation. I don't think I need to go through it. There's nothing new to add, but happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Okay, anyone have any questions for the petitioner? No, you're getting off easy tonight. Okay. It's the public hearings. Anyone else want to speak on this item? Last call? Okay, then public hearing is closed. I'll look for a motion in a second for 5A1 regarding the site plan.
So motioned. Second.
Any discussion? No. Jamie, please call the roll.
Mr. Salon?
Yes.
Mr. Dornblaser?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Ritchie?
Yes.
And Chair Seville?
Okay, thank you.
Is that a
Yes.
yes? Pass 6-0.
Yes. Okay. Next is 5A2, which is the conditional use approval. Need a motion in a second?
So motioned. The second.
Any discussion? No? Jamie, call the roll.
Mr. Dornblaser?
Yes.
Ms. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Ritchie?
Yes.
Chair Seville?
Yes.
And Mr. Salon?
Yes.
Pass 6-0.
Thank you. Next, there are no regular public hearings tonight. Are there any public requests? Anybody from the public wishing to speak on any topic? Okay, seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting. Do we have a director's report?
No report.
Okay. Anybody on the board have anything to say? No? Okay, if not, at 6:12, we're adjourned.